Canada, just the other day in Vancouver on the beach, a guy was walking down the beach and he saw an old bottle. He picked it up and rubbed it, and a genie popped out and said, "Hey, you can have any wish you want. What do you want?" He says, "I want to live forever. Sorry, I'm not allowed to grant eternal life. Any other wish, but not that one." "Okay, then I want to die after the government in Canada balances the budget, eliminates the debt, and abolishes the Senate." You crafty little scamp. Hey, let's move on here. The idea of daylight saving time recently happened, right? I mean, I always think of an old Indian sitting down with a blanket, right, with a pair of scissors, and because it used to be Indian daylight savings time at one point, and then they changed the name. That's what I was told. Anyway, you take the scissors, you cut a piece off the bottom of the blanket, you turn the blanket around, then you sew it on the top, and that's kind of daylight savings time. What's changed? How about not very much? But I got to tell you the origin of this. Ben Franklin. He said, "I'm in Paris now, and we're burning all of these, you don't see the sun very much over here. We're burning all these candles. We need to stop that." And I guess obviously he didn't own a candle company. And so he thought daylight saving time would kind of save on the power of the day again being wax and candles and so on. So, that was maybe good then, but we don't have candles anymore, and it's kind of dumb. I mean, so don't do that anymore. Everybody should be on the same time. Instead, it's complicated, particularly for a guy like me, because I have to change clocks twice a year. And so what I do in some places, I just leave them like they are, do the calculation, and then 6 months later I know I'm right. Just saying. Okay, California. School employees with concealed carry permits will no longer be able to bring firearms on campus as of New Year's Day 2018. A safe learning environment is essential for our children to be successful in the classroom. That's not possible if a school district allows armed civilians to roam California school campuses. Teachers roam. Did you know that? They put a gun in their pocket and they roam everywhere within the school, kind of like lurking or roaming. Okay. With the new law now, any deranged person bent on slaughtering children now knows for certain that there ain't nobody there to stop him, right? So this is good for him, for the bad guy. There used to be a penal code that required extra years behind bars if you used a gun to commit a crime, and now that's been removed too by the governor in California. There's hardly any words to describe these people, how crazy they are. I mean, it's now more difficult for a teacher to protect children against criminals with firearms, and then the same government reduces the penalties for gun criminals who use a gun. You think you get it. All this pausing because I'm trying to see if I'm missing something, if I can even begin to grasp it. And some teachers have been carrying firearms, particularly in smaller centers in California, for 30 years. And 30 years. And they haven't been roaming or lurking. They've been defending, or they have the ability to defend. And every day, where are these liberals? Don't they read the same papers or watch the same news channels that we do? I mean, because almost daily you see that some nut did something else in a church, in a school, and they say, let's take all of the things that can help save the day out of the school. Wow. Then you have Berkeley, the California University, and the odd conservative student that's there. I mean, these people are notorious for being left-wing whacks, right? They certainly get all the press, but there are conservative students there, and they have clubs and so on, and they're threatened, they're beaten, they're spit upon. Wow, where's the guy there? The security guy. I mean, you almost need to be armed. You walk up to these other loons and you say, "Excuse me, you do that again, I'm going to smack you or shoot you. How dare you treat our citizens like that?" Because they're citizens. They just happen to be right-wing citizens. And it goes on and on. I mean, it's upside down. Okay, Donald Trump Jr. Recently at Halloween, I thought this is a great story. Maybe you read it, but I got to share it with you anyways. I'm going to teach my little girl about socialism. So at the end of the night, she had a big thingamadoo of candy, and he said, "I want you to take half your candy and give it to all those kids who wouldn't go out Halloweening." She said, "Are you kidding me? I ain't doing that." "Oh, you got to. That's the proper system. That's the democratic way," right? I think that's pretty cute. The world is a mess. Every day in Canada, it's come to this. It's in Canada, in America, particularly in America. What have we become? All of these people in Hollywood, politicians, a woman comes forward and says, 40 years ago you did this bad thing, and 30 years ago you did that bad thing. That might be. I mean, Hollywood might be a sludgy place, But you know, don't you have to try people? Don't you have to go to court? I'm reading all this stuff about these guys, and then you take away his membership here and his advertising there and his Academy Award from 19 years ago. We'll take that away, and politicians are getting it as well. Really? I mean, aren't you supposed to kind of go to court? Shouldn't there be some proof somewhere? Is social media really now in charge of our lives? It would appear. I mean, I could go on, but I don't think it's right. I mean, we're all making our judgments. The whole world now, the whole news world has become a reality show, and I think you have to have your day in court. You can't show up 40 years later and say, this man gave me, you know, it was sexual harassment. And oh, by the way, I was interviewed in his room at 8:30 p.m. in a hotel room, and we were drinking wine, and he sexually assaulted me. Do you think? And I mean, I'm not going to say anymore, but I think you get it. I mean, you got to have some fairness in the world. I'm not so sure that's happening right now to a bunch of these politicians and people. Maybe they deserve it, but can't we find out properly? Hey, y'all come back tomorrow. That would be proper, and we'll talk to you then. See ya.